guys. The hangout outside is live. Okay. Hello, guys. My name is Greg Schingler, and I'm ready to start class with you, as it has been promised. Hey, hello. Oh, Mikhail. Hi there.
Hi, Glitch.
I'm ready. And I suppose we are about to wait for the rest of the group.
Yes. We can maybe wait a few minutes. Yes.
Surely. Oh, one more is here.
Yes.
Good evening.
How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. And you?
Fine too. Thank you. Mikhail, and how are you?
I'm fine. Thank you. And you?
Yeah, fine too. Well, so there are three of us here. Shall we wait for a couple people more? Oh, one more is here. Hello, Vitaly. How are you doing these days?
Great. We have a sound delay. Maybe if somebody join us, we can wait a few seconds when they can talk. Yes, it's like sound delay.
Yeah, understand. Hello, Vitaly. Can you hear? Oh, quite a group is gathering. Alexander, hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Well, who is speaking? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Alexander. Now, Alexander, I see you. Yes.
But great. If somebody don't how to say it, some people try to don't show himself by camera.
Yes.
It's
At,
yes.
at least
We can.
it's enough that I hear them. Yes,
Yes.
Alexander. I hear you. Yes, you're audible. And someone's microphone is muted as far as I can see. Hey, Vitaly. Can't hear you. Vitaly, you can't hear a word.
Vitaly, okay, I'm sorry, Glitch. I tried to say, Vitaly, you.
Vitaly, do you know that your microphone is muted?
Виталий, смотрите, если вы нас слышите, то с нами не слышите.
Какое шипение?
Да. Виталий не сдается. Виталий, you need to turn off the microphone.
I will type for him.
Okay. Okay. I will type and I now I send him instruction how to make some. Okay, great. We can start to speak about our topic, and let's try to speak with the students one by one and saying maybe the name of the student.
Exactly. That's what I meant to do. Oh, guys, so we have quite a group here, and I suppose we're ready to start. As I promised, the topic is English in the third millennium. Am I audible for everyone?
Yes.
hope so.
Mhm.
Okay. So, as I promised, we are going to start with a quiz, and it takes me a moment to open it. Just hang on, guys. Uh, Sorry. Hang on, guys.
Yeah.
It takes a little while.
Okay.
Hello? A newcomers here?
Svetlana, we hear you. Try to say something.
Oh,
Okay, hello to everyone.
Yeah.
hello, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. What about you? You're
Yes,
our new teacher?
yes, exactly. You're quarantine. You're quarantine to participate in our discussion, in our today's discussion, I mean. Uh, because it takes a little while until my materials are being downloaded from my USB
Mhm.
flash memory.
Mhm. You make like a Google Drive and to download to Google Drive, yeah, or what?
No. It doesn't have to do with Google. It's been loaded from my USB flash memory. So,
Mhm.
uh, it is going to be a quiz.
Mhm.
Maybe you don't know all the answers. You just try to guess. And even um, after you have shared your guesses, I'm not going to tell you the right answers at once, but I'm gonna make room for listening activity, and thus you know the true answers.
Mhm. Okay.
So this is what it is going to be like. Well, if the computer doesn't lie, the materials are gonna appear. Mm, Anyway, while it is being downloaded, uh, a question is personal to everyone. How long have you been studying English? Who shared? Who wants to be the first to share?
Okay. Maybe it's better. Wait. Maybe it's better to try say, ask name by name. It's like start with Alexander maybe, and
Okay,
after
you
that.
may here with the first one. The question.
Yes, it's hard to answer a question to everybody. You need to choose person who need to answer, who will answer. Maybe it's me
So,
or
how long have you?
I studied English maybe
Hello,
one
Mikhail,
year.
can you hear me?
Yeah,
1 year, right?
yeah,
Mm-hmm. 1 year.
yeah.
Okay. What about?
Me?
Can you
Um,
hear me?
yeah, I've been studying for 1 year approximately, a little more. But we
Mm-hmm.
studied it at school, the university, and we know it a bit anyway.
Mm-hmm. I see. Well, who is ready to answer? Tari, is your microphone okay now?
Now it's better because we
Hello.
have. Yeah, now we hear you.
So now you can hear me.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
cool.
Exactly. Cool.
Okay,
So, how
Vitaly,
long
you
have
need
you
to join.
studied the English language?
Vitaly, it's a question for you.
Oh, can you repeat, please?
Or
Repeat,
you
please,
have
your question.
microphone troubles again? How long?
A few years.
A few years, I see. Okay, who else wanna share? Sorry, Dina, right? Or you have answered?
Dina have a problem with the microphone.
Ah, yes, your microphone looks like muted.
Maybe choose the next person. Yes.
Okay, Dina, can you answer in the chat? How long have you been studying the English language? Please answer through the chat if your microphone doesn't work. About 1 year. Thank you. Okay. Uh, well, the lady who is near, I can't see the name. The microphone is mute too. Well,
Maybe
the
N.
lady with the snow, I can't see the lady with the snow. I can't see the name, unfortunately.
Svetlana.
I know who. The lady showing snowfalls. Who's
Okay.
that? I can't see the name.
Svetlana, wait. You can see name if you put mouse, not put when you как, put mouse on this avatar.
Maybe when I click.
Click.
Svetlana.
But it's
Oh,
not
that's
click.
already answered. Okay. And in or n.
N.
And you have answered the question or no?
Not.
So, how long have you studied the English language?
I have been learning English language for 10 years at school.
For 10 years. I
At
see.
school.
I see. Okay. Uh, Now the final question is, when you started learning the language, what was your goal? The first. I don't care. What's the first to answer while I'm looking for the material?
Okay.
Well, Mikhail, we can start.
Yes. For me, it's just a walking question, and I try to learn English, and after that I can use it in my work when I speak with a foreign partner or something like that. And I like to read some articles. Which I mean, some articles in the maybe newspapers or
Somewhat. Oh.
articles in the newspapers, in the foreign newspapers or magazines.
I
Hmm.
I see. So, right?
Could you repeat?
Okay. So this was your goal, to be able to read articles.
Not. My main
Am
goal
I
is
right?
it's my main goal is speak fluent with the foreign people. But the second is goal. It's more useful because I can read the article all day. It's just read it.
Okay, I see. Alexander, yes, what would be your answer?
Um,
Your initial goal with which you started to learn the language?
I want to travel abroad and speaking with foreign people, and also I want to watch English films.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I see. What about your initial aim learning the language? And hello?
Sorry. Um, I want to develop my brain and I want to speak English perfect.
Uh-huh. So that was your only initial goal, right?
Yes, right.
Okay. Yuri, can you share your initial aim with which you started to learn the language?
I want to go abroad to speak with foreigners. I like to read different books in original text, and I read journals and newspapers with foreign articles.
Mm-hmm. I see. Great. Okay. Who else is ready to share with Tari? What about you?
Um, because a few years ago, I understood that in our country, if you want to get a good job, you have to know English language. That's
Mm-hmm.
why I began. And but also I am interested in it. I like English music and English films. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, if we touch this issue, well, what jobs in Ukraine require knowing English?
what? I
Which
didn't
jobs,
understand.
which jobs in Ukraine require
Any
good
any
knowledge?
any any good position, any good
Any good
job.
story? Mm-hmm. Well,
Because
what they are.
HR, when HR read your CV, first they looking at its language skills.
Mm-hmm.
Experience, language skills, it's a main
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Well, what I meant to ask is what professions require good knowledge of English? Even cleaners, like
no.
in, let's say, Israel,
For example, engineer.
engineer, okay, and other professions requiring good skills in English?
Interpreters.
Interpreter, yes, and translator. Uh, okay, okay, guys. Thank you. Now I'm ready to start our quiz. Please listen to the questions and to the options, and share your any ideas on the questions. Okay, question one, guys. How many people spoke English in 1000 Anno Domini? Was it 2 million? Was it 12 million? Or was it 20 million? Ideas, guys? Share ideas. Any ideas
More,
are acceptable.
more than 2 million, maybe.
So, you think that it was more than 2 million. Other ideas, please?
I think. I think.
20 maybe?
Share your personal opinions, guys. Personal opinions only. Sorry, Anne, did you want to say something?
I don't know. Maybe 12, madam.
Okay, nobody knows. Now, only opinions matter. You acquire knowledge on having heard to the text I'm going to read for you. Okay, any other ideas? Be courageous to share them. Any more ideas about the question? Be courageous, guys. I ain't gonna eat anyone for giving a wrong answer. Okay, no more ideas.
Yes.
So we're passing over to the following question. Question 2. How many people speak it now? Options. A. 200 million. Your ideas? Sorry? If you said something?
Could you repeat the question, because maybe say it more slowly, because I don't hear it.
Okay, question 2 is, how many 500 million or a billion?
Maybe a billion.
You think that a billion, yes?
Yes.
Okay, any other ideas?
I
So
haven't.
guys, I ain't gonna punish for a wrong answer. Okay. Okay, guys. So the whole group thinks.
Ask people by name. Try to say Alexander. You need to answer because
Alexander.
Yes.
We want to hear your opinion.
I couldn't hear you. Can you repeat this question?
The question was, how many people speak English now? 200 billion, 500 million, or a billion?
200 million or billion?
Million.
500 or 1 billion, right? Let it be 500 million.
Okay. Vitaly, your idea about the question?
From my point of view, it's 1 billion or maybe more.
Oh.
Maybe
more.
Well, I to question 3. What percentage of the world's emails are in English? Is it 50%? Is it 80%? Or is it 90%?
80.
80?
I think 80%.
You think there are 80% of emails written in the English language, okay?
Yes.
I think too.
Okay. Will you share your idea?
I think 80%.
80%, okay. Alexander, is your opinion different or the same?
what answers are there?
Okay, the options are 50%, B 80%, C 90%.
50%.
Okay, you have right to share it. Mikhail, what would you think about the question?
Okay, I'm sorry, I don't follow. Could you repeat what about the talk?
The question was, just a moment, What percentage of the world's emails are in English? A. 50%, B. 80, C. 90.
It's hard to say. Maybe 90.
Yes, only your ideas matter. Okay,
I
and
think
the last question of the quiz. How many languages are there in the world? A. 4,000, B. 6,500, C. 9,000.
I know these questions. It may be 6,500.
6.5, okay. Any other ideas? Okay, we will share.
I agree with him.
I agree.
He said that he exactly know, and I believe him.
What?
Counted on his own, right? Or
We started at the university this question.
Google. Okay, guys. Now, please listen to the text I'm gonna read. While listening, you may take notes either using banal papers and pens or your computer notepad application. Shall I tell you how to launch it?
yes.
Okay, for those who doesn't know, the notepad is in your start menu in the software folder where accessories are. You can choose there either WordPad or Notepad. So, are you ready, guys? I'm gonna listen to the text, and then you know the exact answers for the quiz. So, the text is titled English in the Third Millennium. 2000 years ago, English did not exist. A, 1,000 years ago, it was a language used language in the world, spoken by more than 1 billion people on the planet, as their first, second or third language. English currently dominates science, business, the mass media, and popular culture. For example, 80% of emails on the internet are in English. But where will English be at the end of the third millennium? One view is that English is going to become even more important, a global lingua franca dominating in the world trade and media, while most other languages will become localized or just die out. At present, over half the world's 6,500 languages are in danger of extinction. Another view is that English is already breaking up, as Latin did, into several separate languages. There are already dictionaries of the new Englishers, such as Australian English, full of words that a British English speaker would not recognize. Hopefully, neither of these things will happen, although different varieties of English will continue to develop around the world. Standard English will survive for international communication. In addition, the frightening prospect of a culturally uniform world totally dominated by one language is impossible. Already, other languages are fighting back against the iron grip of English on the net. Governments around the world are also starting to protect smaller languages and recognize the importance of cultural and linguistic diversity. English will probably stay in control for a long time, at least while the USA remains the top superpower, but it definitely won't become the only language in the world. Okay, guys, so this is the information. Uh, what is expected about the language in the third millennium? Was it comprehensible to everyone?
Mhm.
Okay,
Mhm.
you were attentive listeners. Now let's check how much attentive you were. So, my first question is, oh dear, uh, okay, uh, uh, by how many people was the English language spoken in 100 Anno Domini?
2 million people.
Sorry, say it
2
again,
million.
please.
2 million people speaking before Anno Domini.
Sorry, is this or is it me to be freezing? Am I freezing? Guys, can you hear me? Or is the connection freezing?
Some connection
No,
we are not here.
I hear you.
Okay. Test, test, test. Can you hear everybody?
Yes, we have.
Yes, I
Yeah,
can hear
yeah,
you.
I can
Oh,
hear.
the connection is back, it means. So,
Hmm.
1,000 years ago, the language was spoken by what number of people?
By 2 million,
Yes, it was less than 2 million people. How many people speak it now?
more, a lot of.
That number? Or you can't remember? Who remembers, guys? Mikhail, maybe you
More
remember?
than 1 billion.
Yes, yes, this is a precise answer. More than 1 billion speak it now. Uh, what percentage of the world's emails are in English?
80%.
Yes, most of you were correct by giving the answer before I read the text. And how many languages are there in the world?
This question for me?
Okay, for everybody who knows.
Oh, I don't know.
Anyway, I have read about the fact. So who remembers the answer? How many languages are there in the world in general?
6,050
Yes, I'm sorry, 6,500.
and 500.
Yes, 6,000 and a half. And this was the exact and correct answer even before I started reading. Cool. Okay. So we have read about possible future destiny of the English language. Now, I want to discuss with you uh, more profoundly, Sorry, and are you speaking at the moment?
What?
Uh,
Sorry?
you are making a speech at the moment.
I I can't listen you good. Time to time I can't listen you and I can't catch your speech. Catch the speech. Hmm. The link is bad, I want to say.
Well, look, making a speech at the moment. Still, the question about what future has English ahead, apart from what you heard in the text.
Hmm.
You want to share first?
I can
The
say
person. Okay, and
the English will developing our the words and maybe it will be the one English, the one lesson of the whole nationals.
well,
Everyone will speak on that.
everyone speaks, and the language should be the unique or
Yes,
united language of all the nations of the world.
yes.
Rather interesting and rather perspective. Valery, what is your opinion?
This time, I was late for your class, so I'm not really into the topic we're discussing now. Could you remind me the question, please?
Okay, the question is, in your opinion, what future has English ahead? Will it go on being international one, or will it remain a national language only?
Well, it's very hard to imagine that English will lose the position of the international language in the world. Well, unless the United States and Great Britain exist, of course, English will stay the most important international language in the world.
Anyway, don't forget that Europe has changed their international languages every 50 years, as far as I know the history. Still, you think that the English language will have a sort of, I don't know, eternity. Well,
Yeah, my point is that English has become. Can you hear me?
become what? I'm sorry.
Yeah. So I mean, my point is that English has become the international language due to geographical discoveries. Yes, at that time when. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes. Now it's okay.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean that at that time, the Europeans hadn't discovered new lands. I mean, America, Australia, and so on. So at this time, we have discovered all the lands on the earth, and so I mean that there is no, there can't be any new geographical discoveries, and I think that English will stay the most important international language. So there are no reasons, no how to say perspectives for the English language to lose its position.
Yeah, many minds. Something that English has become a national language due to geographical discoveries. Something that English has become a national language due to the progress of the Microsoft Corporation and their software production. Some can give many other different arguments. Okay, this one. Vitali, can you share your opinion about the question?
Yes, I think that world need international language, and because we live in the age of internet, and people need to communicate with each other. So people need international language, and it can be English language, or maybe in the future it can be another language.
Any other language?
Because nobody knows what language it can be. Maybe our uh, children will talk in Poland or in Hungarian language. Nobody knows.
Yes. You seem to be right because, as I told, Europe changes the international languages every 50 years, as the history has proved. Well, Yuri, can you share your opinion, please?
I think English became an international language because we communicate with each other,
Mm-hmm.
and to geographical position, it can be true, I think, in the future.
Mm-hmm. I see. Well, who's Alexander who's got Winnie the Pooh avatar? Or is it the same Alexander or different?
The
Sorry?
same.
Uh-huh. Here you are. Uh-huh. Okay. Can you share your opinion, please?
I think that it's probably be one one language in the world
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
sometimes.
Well,
But
Mikhail. Ah,
maybe no. I thought the Chinese maybe, but I don't think so. It's so difficult language.
God Almighty, how would I study it if it became international? I don't know how these hierarchies, you know. Okay, I think that Anne has already answered the question. Mikhail, what
Hmm.
would you think about the question?
Uh, I think if we choose one language which was like a main language in the world, it's will be better for our life because we need now to learn it all time and maybe the best variant for me is if the main language in the world will be Russian. It will be very simple to use and communicate with the people. But and now I think it's understandable for all
On
people English and mm, I think we choose it, and it's hard to change to another language.
hmm. Okay. Well, there are some more questions to discuss. Uh, let's say it appears so that English is not destined to be an international language any longer. What may happen, as I told you, language was German, international language, 100 years changed ago, every 50 years, international. Who knows what the future has got ahead for us? So English is not destined to be an international language any longer. What language do you think gonna occupy its place? Mm, okay, who is still with us? Valery, can you share your opinion on the question, please?
Well, as I said before, for me it's incomprehensible to imagine that any other language might replace English as the international language. I see no potential for any other languages to do that.
Maybe Chinese.
So I see no reason. Chinese? No, it's technically it's impossible because the Chinese. I know that Chinese business people prefer to speak English, and they avoid using their national language, their native language, because I know that, for example, when
Am I freezing?
southern Chinese and northern Chinese encounter each other, they prefer to speak English between, in the conversations between southern and northern Chinese because of huge differences between the different dialects of the Chinese language. So it's really complicated. I'm not speaking about this computer writing in Chinese. It's really, complicated.
I see.
Yeah, of course,
Uh,
as Michael said, I would be happy if Russian were the international language. So who knows? Maybe we'll revive, we'll get back to the USSR times and invade the whole world and overcome other nations and establish the Russian language to be the international, and will make other people speak the Russian language. So who knows? Maybe that will happen in the long run.
It's a strong question, maybe.
Pardon?
It is a strong question, maybe. Very difficult question to
Yes,
say.
yes, it is. So I mean that we're on the verge of starting the Third World War, perhaps. Yes, and who knows what the result will be of this Third World War. So either Russia will be eliminated, or Russia will overcome and will become the only super nation in the world, and thus Russian will become the international language.
Mm-hmm. I see. This one, Vitaly, what is your opinion on the question?
I would like to ask what in other languages was international before English?
I've already mentioned, but once again,
French.
50 years ago, as far as I know, German was an international language, and 100 years ago, it was French to be international. But you know, I'm making history. I'm mistaken about this. But the fact
Yeah. I'm really sorry, but German has never been the international language. Never.
Maybe Arabian.
Valery,
World War II.
do you know? I remembered that people learn at school. I mean, in Russian, people, a lot of people learn German in school, like a second language. Maybe it's not like a word, but it's like a main language, main foreign language.
Mm-hmm.
I think Spanish will be next international language, because German was, French was, and English was. So I think Spanish deserve it.
Well,
A lot of people speak in Spanish in the world.
and what do you think? Is it more simplified than the English is?
Simplify? What does it mean?
Hello?
Yes. Simplify is it's like a simple.
Somebody was freezing. Okay. Are you sure that, or do you think that Spanish is easier than English?
No, I don't think that it is easier.
Do you think it would change English after a while?
If English changed German or French, why Spanish cannot change English? Why Spanish cannot occupy this place on the topic?
Who knows? Who knows? You might be right. Okay, Yuri, what is your opinion?
I think that English is maybe international language.
It is currently it currently is, yes. Let's imagine its being international language is over. In your opinion, what language would occupy the place of international language instead of it?
Maybe German.
You think German? Yes?
In the European continent, maybe it was German.
Well, German used to be international language during the Second World War, and you think it's gonna be back again? Nobody still knows what the reason. Okay, you have right with this opinion. Well,
Well, yeah, again, Glaish, I cannot agree with you that German was the international language during the Second World War. If it were, then why wouldn't the Soviet people used German in their negotiations with the American people or French, the British? Did they speak German when they communicated with non-German people during the Second World War?
well, what I know is that people who were born after the Second World War in Ukraine learned German in schools, learned it more than
Yeah,
English.
alongside with English and French,
Mhm.
and the proportions were well, maybe there were more pupils learning German at that time in the Soviet Union, but the proportions were about just the same. I mean, French, English, and German.
I see.
Maybe
Okay.
maybe Italian it come back from European language.
Mhm. Alexander, what is your opinion, please?
My chosen is French.
Hmm. You think it will be the French language, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Somebody's back or new to our chat. Evgeny, right? Evgen. Hello? Can you hear us?
Evgeny, okay, Evgeny is come
Okay.
back later.
Well,
Mhm. Later I have.
he's out of the way.
Wait,
Hello?
could you repeat? Yes,
That's a
repeat
very good
the
question. Yes.
question, please.
So, let's imagine English is not destined to be an international language any longer. What language do you think gonna occupy its place?
Okay, it's a question for me.
Yes. Now it's a personal question.
I need to say which question, which language occupy
The English one.
main. Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's hard to say. I think it's correlate. It's how to say it? Correlate. Yes, we have such word in English. I don't know.
Pardon, which word?
It's connect with the economics of the country. I think the
Hmm.
main language choose by how strong choose like uh, I don't know how to say it. It's like chosen by country which have the best economy situation in the world in the moment.
Hmm. So,
Mhm.
I think the father of the English language as international could be,
I'm sorry.
well, the follower of English in the place of international language, in your opinion, could be,
I don't understand. Maybe I don't know the first word. Could you write it in the chat?
well, imagine that English fails to be an international language any longer.
Hmm.
So, what exact language could take its place if you analyze the economy development of
Hmm.
different European countries?
Yes, maybe it's a Chinese language.
Chinese.
Yes,
So, a nation language, not even European one. Uh-huh.
yes. I think it will be Asian language.
Mm-hmm. Well, rather interesting.
As I say, I think it's connect with the economy situation in the world. If you need to trade with the Chinese
Hello?
people,
Yeah.
have English, you need to use China.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
but Michael, you should know that the Chinese business people don't
Mhm.
like using Chinese in their negotiations.
Yes,
So,
yes,
yeah,
I know it, but
I think very
Team people, if Chinese
yeah, because you know that in Chinese,
would look awful to them, you know?
mhm.
I think so there are not so many interpreters in the Chinese.
I'm sure.
and you know that the intonation is really important in Chinese, and
Either me
you
or the
you can
speaker.
say one and the same word with different intonations, and this can mean completely different words, and you should have a great musical ear, you know, to
Can't see.
differentiate.
Mm-hmm.
Pardon?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I see. I see. Well, mm, while reading the text, I mentioned that some languages are dying out these days. They extinct or die out. Uh,
Maybe islands languages.
Pardon? What one? Which one?
Islands languages.
Uh, the language of Ireland, Irish.
Of islands.
Me freezing?
Maybe it's
Okay,
Latin.
Island.
What do you
pardon.
mean?
A language mentioned by
Островов.
Vitaly was.
Островов.
God Almighty. Vitaly, you mentioned the language, but I failed to comprehend which one.
Mikhail said about Latin language, that language.
Latin. Aha. By magicians only. Mm-hmm.
I
Well, got a point here.
Uh, could you repeat because I don't hear some words.
Okay. While reading the text, I mentioned that some languages are dying out or are already dead.
Mhm.
Can you give any examples of such languages?
I don't remember what you say when you read, but I think we have a lot of dying languages now.
Name some of them. It's okay.
It's African. We have a lot of African languages. I don't remember how it's named, but
it maybe breeding languages.
Which one? Sorry.
Breeding languages.
I don't
British
know.
languages, or do I fail to hear you?
Yuri, try to write in the chat what is, because it's hard to understand.
Yeah, if you let me air my view,
Okay.
my point of view, my native language is dying out. Well, actually, I'm a Russian citizen.
Are you freezing or me?
Am I freezing?
Okay. Either me or you. I can't comprehend. So,
my native language is dying out, for example. Can you hear?
Where do you come from?
Well, I'm a Russian citizen. I live in Moscow, but I originally come from Siberia, and there is a small nation living around Lake Baikal, which is called Buryat people. And these people is very similar to the Mongolians, to the Mongols. But we have our own language, quite similar to Mongolian. But this language is dying out, as there are only 400,000 Buryat people, and quite few of them can speak their native tongue, because many prefer to speak Russian, as it's more convenient, more handier, and to my shame, I don't speak my native tongue as well. So I live in Moscow and I speak Russian, English, sometimes German, and practically, in practical terms, I don't need my native tongue at all, and so I have forgotten all of it.
Well, the question is, you don't speak your native language because you don't know it, or because you live in non-speaking environment?
Well, the reason is that, yes, I live in a non-speaking environment and I don't need it. And what I remembered in my childhood, I have forgotten. And well, if I speak, if I think in a practical way, I think that I don't feel sorry actually. It's a natural process, you know, that stronger languages survive and prosper, and weak languages die out. It's natural. Yeah. So maybe I can feel a bit sentimental this way, but all in all, I don't feel very sorry for such process. It's natural.
I see. Okay, guys. My clock shows me that our time is expired, so I want to thank you for participation and for being my attentive spectators and students. So it is a goodbye until the following week. So see each other either on Monday or on Wednesday. It depends on the renewing of my schedule, you know. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for lesson.
Yeah,
Thanks
thank
for
you.
our lesson.
Goodbye.
Okay, goodbye.
And again, I'm freezing.
Wait, you need to push red button and